My name is Richard Ashcroft. I'm Professor of Bioethics in the Law School at Queen Mary University of London, where I'm currently Acting Head of Department, and I have been working in the field of ethics and medical science for about 25 years now. There are a range of ethical concerns that are important in genome editing in human reproduction. But let's clear one away. If we were just talking about ethical applications of genome editing as a medical therapy in people, so we were just talking about engineering livers for transplants, say, then we would think about that pretty much like we'd think about any other medical treatment or surgical treatment. We'd have clinical trials, we'd test for safety and effectiveness, and everything would be fine, and broadly speaking there is nothing new to worry about here. In reproduction, of course, it's different for a number of reasons. The first is it's much harder to test for the safety of this technology because some of the problems that might arise might only appear much later on in the future child's life. And the other set of issues would be around the kinds of biological trait that we might be engineering around. So some of the obvious applications of genome editing would be in dealing with single gene disorders like Huntington's disease or cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia, where you can see why people would want a genetic fix for those problems. And other sorts of traits, maybe height, intelligence, whatever, which we don't really understand that well at the genetic level, but which people are very interested in. Suppose we had better understanding of them, would we as a society be happy with the idea that people were altering sperm, eggs, embryos in order to promote those sorts of traits? So those are some of the key questions. And a related problem, as well as what it is you might actually do, has to do with the very idea of the parental generation deciding what their children are going to be like. The problem of how we distinguish between a disease and something that's not a disease, but you can still do medical or biological things to respond to it is a really tricky one. The NHS has tried to distinguish between, in the field of plastic surgery, for example, therapeutic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries. There's a lot in the bioethics literature about the difference between a treatment and enhancement, and it's quite an unstable distinction. And part of the reason it's unstable is that we have an idea of what's biologically normal. And so moving people away from what's biologically normal is thought of as enhancement, whereas trying to restore people to some concept of what's biologically normal is thought of as treatment. From a regulatory point of view, I think it's almost certain that people will try to draw that distinction, but it's a problematic one from the biological point of view and from the philosophical point of view.